Hi everyone, I'm super excited to host Franco Giaquinto, founder and CEO of Outbuild, a construction scheduling and field coordination platform now running more than 4,000 projects in 10 countries. Thanks a lot, Franco, for being on the show.
Actually, thank you, Mayor, for having us. Actually, it's more than 15,000
Okay.
project.
Can you take us back to the days how the seed of this company and idea was born? What led you to that insight?
Sure. Um, before Outbuild, before like the pandemic, I was running a company called Ipsum, and we were doing kind of like a project management software for the Latin American market. So when the pandemic hit, company was struggling a little bit, so I moved to the US and decided to start a company here. And the thought process was, what is one area that is crucial to project delivery um, that no one is doing anything about? And at that point, 2020, 2021, no one was building anything for construction scheduling and planning. And in our previous product, we used to have a scheduling module, a look ahead module, like not as elaborate as today, but we had something. So we knew how to build that. We knew all about, CPM methodologies, last planner system, and lean construction methodology. So the idea was, let's focus on scheduling and field planning, and let's build the replacement for the incumbents that haven't evolved in decades. And let's make it for construction with everything that the construction industry needs, right? A collaborative, web-based, unlimited users, mobile, integrated to the major PM softwares out there, and just eliminate anything that doesn't help the industry and add everything that the industry was looking for. So that was kind of how Outbuild was born at the end of 2021, and then we've doubled down on everything, and now we've got a long ways from those days.
Amazing. And if you reflect back, what were some technical or business hurdles you had to overcome along the way?
There's a lot, man. There's a lot. When you're building in construction tech, there's a couple of types of products, right? There's products that are ripping and replacing something. There's products that are sitting on top of existing tools. When you're ripping and replacing an incumbent or legacy processes or anything, it's tough at the beginning, right? Because you need to get to a level of maturity in the product and functionalities that companies feel comfortable enough to migrate from what they've been using or doing for a long time to a new product. So at the beginning, it's tough to getting early traction, to getting companies to believe in your product, trust in your product, and also to get to that level of functionality that they need in order to jump to a new product. So that was tough at the beginning for sure, especially when no one knows who you are and you're like, hey, you've been using Primavera for decades. How about you use Outbuild? Like we're new out here. It's tough. Now that we build a brand and we have almost 450 customers in every single state in the country, now we build some sort of and trust within the industry. So it's getting obviously better and easier, but at the beginning it was tough. So a lot of challenges on the product side. Building a construction scheduling software is not easy, right? People think it's just bars, and there's some new players that are like, oh, we're building a scheduling tool, and it's like, it's way more than that, man. It's way more than that, especially if you also build a field planning module that is connected in real time. There's a lot of technical challenges. So yeah, there was a lot. And from a sales perspective, like I said, like you need to gain the trust of the industry. They need to try your product, trust in your product, and make sure they can fully migrate. So a lot of product challenges as well.
This
So
gives a good picture. And like Paul Graham has a famous essay of like at the early stage doing things that don't scale. Are there any such stories for Outbuild?
any stories of things we did that
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
scale? I mean, yeah, man. At the beginning, you have to do a lot of things that don't scale. As a company, you go through different stages, right? Like when you're in a seed stage, you're trying to get that early validation. You're not building for scale. You're building for early validation and make sure you have something of value, and then you can get early traction. So you do a lot of things that don't scale, from providing a lot of white glove services to your customers, like training, onboarding, support. We've helped customers build schedules. Like our team, like our customer success team, has built schedules for our customers. So we've done a lot of things that don't scale. Then when you go to a Series A stage, you're kind of optimizing for that, predictable growth. And now that we're like at Series B stage, now everything's a little different, right? Now we optimize for proper scale. But yes, you have to do a lot of things that don't scale.
And you mentioned about like earlier how you get the things right, and it made me think, how do you create the culture and attract A players in construction tech startup?
Uh, Good question. So I would say, like, yeah, 5, 6 years ago, it wasn't that easy because it was still it was still an up and coming industry like construction technology. I mean, there was obviously good amount of players, a lot of new players coming out, but nothing like today, right? Today is like it's a more evolved industry. It's easier for people from the construction industry to feel comfortable to take a position in a construction tech company because they know they've grown, they know they've been successes, they know there's more funding these days. But back in the day, yeah, you had to figure out whether you bring people from the software industry and put a lot of effort in teaching them about construction because it's not a simple thing to teach. Like it's a very technical industry. Even till this day, there's so much I'm still learning and have no idea about a lot of things. So it's a very complex industry. Or you bring construction people and teach them about the software world. On our company, I guess it depends on a lot of things. Depends on the stage, depends on your type of product, depends on your ICP, the personas you reach out. For our company, our product, and what we do, it made more sense to bring construction people and teach them about how tech companies work. Teach them about the processes, the way we do things, the way we track metrics, the way we set goals, all those things. I feel like it's much easier to do that. And for our product and what we do, it was crucial to have construction knowledge, people that have been in the field, people that have done these things in the past. It creates a better connection to your potential customers, right? And with your customers as well. In our product, at least, it was a must to have the construction experience and knowledge. And if you see our team, like our VP sales comes from the industry, our VP of customer success comes from the industry. So we have a lot of people from the construction industry. But yeah, and today it's easier, man. Again, today there's a lot of people that are tired of commuting a couple hours a day. They love the industry, but it's exhausting. Some people have kids. They want to spend more time at home with their families. So it's easier to attract that talent to a tech startup where they can still be involved in the construction space. They can have an impact with thousands of projects and hundreds of companies, and they can do it in a much more comfortable way where they can spend more time with their family and whatnot. Now, it's a tough thing because you're taking people out of the construction industry, which is something that we shouldn't be doing because the industry needs more people. So yeah, it's the tough dichotomy there of like, oh, we're taking PMs or superintendents from the field to hire them in our company, but that's one of the main challenges of the industry today. So I feel like every startup is struggling with that thought
Mm.
process.
Yeah, construction labor shortage is like a whole another topic for discussion. Any
Yeah. Yep.
go-to-market lessons you could share, ones that worked, that didn't work?
I mean, yeah, man, there's a lot of lessons. I mean, again, it depends on your product, your stage, the segment you attack. I've seen every type of go-to-market strategy work in construction tech. Fully inbound, like PLG motions, fully outbound, very higher tickets for enterprise, a combination. I've seen a little bit of everything. You can do anything successfully depending on again your product, the segment you reach out, whether it's GCs, trades, owners, mid-market, SMBs, enterprise. I've seen everything succeed in other startups. So in what we do, I guess some learnings are, let me think a little bit. Let me throw a few there that I can think quickly. One, respect your customers' time. The more you pressure your customers, the more pushback you're gonna have. Like construction teams, they want to make sure they're trying your tool, they like it, they have good buy-in, and then they're ready to make a decision. If you pressure them, it doesn't create a good relationship and a good rapport, right? It comes off salesy. I feel like the more you're trying to help them and provide value, the more they look at you as like a true partner instead of just a vendor. And I'm not just saying that, like we truly believe that to be true. That's one. Another one, you got to cater to your company, right? Like when you try to get them to work on your timings, on your processes, it's not very helpful. You need to make sure that it's the right process for your customers, right? In terms of timing, the validation, showing them the value. How do you approach pricing? It needs to make sense to them. Like we're building these products for them. Obviously, as founders, we want to build a big company, want to make good revenue, want to scale, we want to have success. That's a given. But you're still doing this. At the end of the day, you're doing this to improve an industry, to help these customers, and eventually obviously you'll reach some sort of success. But if you don't have your customers well-being and success in mind, it's going to be a tough journey. What else? It's important to be super clear with customers. They don't like complex pricing models. They don't like a lot of variation. They don't like too many pieces that they need to figure out. It's an industry that's very direct. You need to be just honest, direct. This is the pricing. It won't change, or it will change with A or B. This is how we're going to do it. After we sell, this is going to be the training process. This is going to be the support cadency. Like there needs to be a lot of clarity, right? If you're selling to, especially if you're selling to people in the field, they don't have time to figure out your product. If they're implementing 10 other products plus everything they have to do, you just need to make it very easy for them, man. Very easy. So that goes back to pricing, that goes back to your sell process, that goes back to your training process. I'm not saying it's easy to do it, but the easier and clearer you make it for them, I think the better outcomes you're gonna have, if that makes sense. And then yeah, man, I'm blanking on some others. I can think as we go. There's definitely a lot more, right? But I feel like those are important ones. Those are important ones. And I would say the most important one, and now that it came up top of my head, it's focus. It's focus. I've seen so many founders that they're like just praying and praying, right? They're attacking anyone. They're like, "Oh man, what level of revenue are you in?" "Oh, we're close to $1 million." "Okay, what types of customers do you have?" "Oh man, we have owners, we have GCs, we have trades, mid market, enterprise." I'm like, dude, it's never gonna scale. Like it's very tough. It might. I mean, there might be cases. Honestly, I don't want to be a totalist, but it's tough, man. Like you need to focus. The minute we started focusing and crafting a proper ICP and a proper segment that we understand that we can service well, that's when we started growing faster. And for us, it was mid-market companies because it's a very underserved portion of the market. There's great companies. There's a ton of companies on every single state. And mid-market companies, GCs mainly, we didn't target trades or owners. And then we added a few other little categories. But mid-market GCs. The minute we close on everything else, the machine started working better. So I feel like that's something that especially early stage startups in the construction space need to learn. They come in with a lot of ambition. They're like, "Oh, we're building the best product ever." And it's like we'll take every customer. And it's like that's not the best approach, man. Like we had companies from the Middle East, from Australia, from like other parts being like, "Oh, your product is great. We want it." And I'm like, "Man, I can't service you well. So if I sell you a 40, 50K yearly ticket and I can provide you with good support, good training, good service, then you're going to hate me eventually. So I'd rather tell you not yet. Give me a couple years and then we'll be able to do it. And if the timing is right, awesome. And if it's not, part of the process, right?" So I feel like that's a big one. In my opinion, again, take everything with a grain of salt, but in our company, that was very important from a go-to-market perspective.
I'm also placing in founder shoes. Sometimes they have a pressure of raising revenue and they're like whoever is giving money, but also that comes at a cost at loss
100%.
loss of focus. What are other reasons you think
100%.
construction tech startup often fails?
Oof. There's a few things I've seen. I'm going to talk about what I've seen so I don't come off like an asshole or anything. But you see a few things that I think are um failure reasons. One is not learning the industry properly. People think like you come and you build product and people are going to be like, "Yes, this is awesome. I want it." That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. You really need to understand the people that work in the industry, their pains, their complications, their daily schedules, everything in order to build a product that suits them. If you come into the industry from the software world thinking like it's just about building good product, I don't think that's true. obviously a good product eventually is going to succeed, but you're going to have a tough time, right? You're going to attract a lot of big logos that have like tech people and they're going to relate to your tech offering. But then when you want to expand it to the rest of the industry that they don't have like a construction technologist, like the top E&R companies, then you're gonna struggle with them. You're gonna struggle with communicating with them, speaking their language, building rapport. So one, not really sitting down and understanding the industry. Another one is not understanding the landscape, man. Like I see companies building a new product and it's something that there's already 3 startups doing it. Like, why on earth will you come to an industry where there's already 3 players building something like good startups? I'm not saying shitty startups, good startups that are funded, that they have traction, and you come and build the same shit. Like, it doesn't have value, man. It doesn't have value. Like, obviously, the construction industry is large enough that there can be multiple players and still gain traction. That's fine. But if you come in because you see someone succeeding and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to build the same. I'm just going to change the goddamn color. That's not adding value to the. So unless you're really understanding the landscape of where you fit in and where you can add value because there's no value in that segment, then you're just creating more noise to an industry that doesn't need you. And there's a lot of that today. There's a lot of that today. A lot of founders, they follow the funding, which I think is a massive mistake. You have like 20-year-olds that are like, there's a lot of funding in that industry. Let's build something for that so we can raise a ton of money. It's like, I'm not a believer in that approach. I think that approach is what creates a lot of noise and issues in the tech world. And I don't welcome that approach. So that's one important one. Another one is the lack of focus. Like I said, like you're doing spray and praying, doing a little bit of everything. And then you're like, dude, we don't know who are we selling with. We can't optimize for growth. So then you get stuck in between like the 1 to 3 million range because you're selling tickets, you're churning some, you're going for another, and you spend years in that space, and then you run out of funding or you just run out of energy or whatever it is. And it happens a lot, man. It happens a lot. There's very few startups that just crossed the $10 million chasm. There's very few, and there's a reason why. There's lack of focus, there's lack of knowledge, and then obviously maybe lack of learnings on how to scale companies, especially in a world like construction. So yeah, those are some reasons or factors that I've definitely seen in the space, right? And I do believe that there's a messaging problem in our industry. There's a lot of notoriety and screen time and LinkedIn posts for like, oh, they're doing something super cool with an algorithm or whatever. And it's like, bro, they have 3 customers. Like, relax. Why don't we give a little bit more notoriety to a lot of companies that are building good products that are being used by a lot of companies that they are adding value today? I feel like and I've been very vocal about this, and I don't care if people like it or not, but there's a lot of noise in our space. A lot of the top E&R companies and the top investors, they just like to put a lot of content out there about the new flashy things instead of like what really works, what's really helping construction people today. So I feel like that is also creating a lot of issues and noise and distractions that is not helping the industry, because a lot of new entrepreneurs, new founders coming from YC, they're like, oh shit, like these companies and these investors that are the most known are talking about this big thing. I'm going to build something so I can raise money. And it's not the best way to grow an industry, in my opinion. And I know that for a fact to be true because it's been happening for many years, right? It's just go to Crunchbase, make a list of all the tech startups, see how much they've raised and see their traction, and then see like, is this really changing the industry? Like, you want to think they're pushing the industry forward, and that's fine. But if you build something that it can be used by the majority of the industry, then you're just building some flashy product that is not valuable, in my opinion. So whatever, there's opinions, right? This is mine. Take it with a grain of salt. I've been in this space for a while and I've seen things work, things that don't work. I've met many, many founders, most of the successful ones, and I believe this to be true. So, yeah.
And I also feel like the industry tests your patience. Like there's no like YC 1 million, 10 million ARR in 3 years. Like it's a long term game. And
100%, man. 100%. Like, you see other industries, like, I don't know, sales enablement or now any sort of tool that is built for founders and yeah, they can scale very fast. Design tools, but they can scale very, very fast. But we also get into the philosophical conversations of like, is their revenue true revenue? Is it a transition of token cost to the customer? Like, is it truly ARR? What is their retention rates? Like, yeah, they grow to several millions the first year, but then are they retaining those customers, or those customers are moving to the next flashy thing that is like, oh, we're like this, but better? Dude, you go on Google and you look at any new startup and they have at least 5 sponsorships that says it's like lovable but better. It's like, dude, everyone is like attacking each other. So customers are trying one, moving to the next one, moving to the next one. There's a lot of noise, a lot of freaking noise. And people think like construction is going to be the same. You come, you raise some money, you build an AI tool, and everyone's going to be like, holy shit, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I want it. My supers are bought in. My foremen are bought in. My PMs are bought in. Like full rollout. And it's like, no, man, it doesn't work like that. Trust is a big thing in construction. And honestly, like, again, with hundreds of customers, thousands of projects, good traction, good growth, I still believe that we still need to earn a lot of trust from the industry. Like there's so much to be done from our side. Um, and founders need to understand that it's an industry for a long play. It's a big industry, big industry, right? So if you do it right, you can build a great business. You can build a great business like a field wire, like a drone deploy, like an open space. Like you can build a great business, but it takes some time. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes understanding, it takes trust. So yeah, I feel like the industry needs to be a little bit more clear with new founders so they don't think like they're gonna come, build a product, and just scale to 100 million in 2 years, because I haven't seen that. It can happen, but I haven't seen that. Right? Even with people that came to the industry from Google, from whatever company, they're like, they must be incredible. Like they come from the big tech startups, they're gonna do something incredible. I've seen some of them that came, built something, raised money, and then they disappear. It's not about your experience or how good you are at building product. There's a lot more to be done in construction industry. A lot more to be done. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. I feel like the industry likes to yap a lot about like the high level stuff and send a lot of smoke. The founders in our space, especially the ones that are doing something relevant and that have done something relevant, they need to speak up about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and be more direct and be more just, no nonsense. And there's some founders that are like that, but there's others that, like to yap about the smoky stuff. So, yeah, man, a lot to be done in our industry, but it's exciting. It's a major industry. It moves the world around us. And if you can move the needle a little bit, holy shit, it's exciting, right? But yeah, it takes time, it takes years, it takes effort, it takes a lot of not only product evolution, but service evolution, sales evolution, communication evolution, branding evolution. Building the brand is also super important. Yeah, man, there's a lot of different layers, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
and there are so many different things like we don't often hear like the revenue bottlenecks. So many companies cap at 1 to 3. So many are not able to. So like what's working, what's not. But like people are
Yep.
okay. Now we have raised another round of funding, another big round. Like, but how are you getting over that bottleneck phase? Like those are the insights which will help other founders.
I guarantee you, if you meet with any of those companies that got stuck under 5 million, you will see most of the things I mentioned. Lack of focus, lack of deep knowledge in the industry, and lack of proper like software implementations to scale a product and a service and everything. Like you're gonna see those three for the most part. There might be another one, but you're gonna see those three for the most
You
part.
spoke about trust, and we often hear AEC is a relationship industry. I see there are a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
founders who are moving from other continents and countries in US to build from the states.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they then build trust and relationship if we are like completely new in a geography?
It's a good question. You just gotta work it, man. Like there's no shortcuts. Obviously, if your product offering is so compelling and you do very good, maybe founder-led sales initially, and you do a lot of work in promoting your company and your product, which there's founders that are really good at that. Um, you're gonna have quicker success. But there's no shortcuts, man. You gotta build your network. You gotta talk to people. You gotta understand the market. Like it came from the Latin American market to the U.S. market, but before I started selling here, I spent a lot of time meeting with companies, just understanding them, learning from other founders. Like back in the day, I talk a lot with the team of Struction Side back then, the team of Rumbigs, and just learning from them. Like, hey man, like you're a 5 million AR, like can you teach me about these things? You got to map out everything that's out there, all the startups. And by the way, this is something that I need to mention, because all of the startup maps that are out there built by VCs are dog shit. Like, you see all these PE firms and VCs that are building the construction tech maps, they're absolute dog shit, and please stop building those. They're putting companies that are for pre-con in something different, and putting companies that are for planning in a different thing. Like, they really don't understand where these startups go. So I believe as startups, we need to make like a collaborative one that actually speaks the
The
true
labels.
stage of the market today. Um, but it's also in every founder to do the research, do the proper work of understanding what startups are out there, talk to companies, build your network, go on LinkedIn and look at all the big startups, talk to the founders, send some messages. It takes work, man. It takes work. You can be much better than others, and it's gonna be quicker, but there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcut, in my opinion, right? And again, the more compelling your product is, and the better you are as a founder to tell the story and put it out there, obviously you're gonna get more attention, right? There's some startups that have been doing that successfully, and yeah, like I don't know, you see some Australian companies, like our friends at HammerTech, that they've done a great job in the U.S. market, right? And they're in Australia, so if you do it right, you can be very
Yes.
successful at it.
How can listeners support you in your mission?
Support me? No, I mean, I'm not gonna ask the listeners to support me. I'm just trying to tell some learnings that we've had and see if it helps new founders, especially. Like at the moment, there's no help we need. It's pretty much on us to keep building a good product, keep scaling. There's no one that can come and really help us. So it's on us to help new founders, new startups to actually unlock things, learn some things to pass that 1 million, then that 3 million, then that 5 million, and get to a good level of revenue where you're actually building a good company, right? Under 5 million, you're still very small. And once you get to 5 to 10, you're building something great. And then when you pass 10, okay, now you have something of value. So as founders, we need to put as much experiences and knowledge that we've gathered out there so we can help newer founders, even if it's not what they want to hear. It needs to be direct. It needs to be true. It needs to be like honest, right? A lot of founders like to talk like everything's awesome. It's like amazing. It's incredible. The industry's no, man. There's like anything. There's good things. There's bad things, and there's great things. And I feel more than I feel. I know that most of the learnings come from the bad things, the things not to do, the things to avoid, the things to stop doing, the things that you do wrong and you need to learn from them. That's where the learnings comes. The learnings don't come with like the good stuff. If you're selling, you hear all good feedback from your product and industry is like, oh my God, Outbuild is awesome. You're not learning anything. You're probably going to be, comfortable and just evolve slowly. But if you hear like, hey man, you're fucking up here, or your product is not good here, or you should stop promoting this, or you should stop doing this, like that's where the true learnings come. I mean, and that's where if I ever talk to founders that are just starting, I just share like all the things that I would avoid, right? Starting again. And I would share the things that even till this day we're doing bad. So they can not do them when they get to our stage. So yeah, man. And also I just talk about this with Stephen Pope that in the Construction Conversations podcast that I feel like it's something that the industry needs to promote more, which is being humble. Being humble. Founders need to be a little bit more humble, especially when they're just starting. There's so many startups that come and it's like the best tool for this, the number one player. And like, what number one player, bro? You're like 5 people in the company and you have 5 customers. Like, you can't just blatantly come and be like the number one player, the first ever. It's like, dude, you need to be a little bit more humble when you join an industry and you're putting a product out there. You can be excited, you can promote all the good things you do, but you can just blatantly put like the first ever tool for this, the best, the number one according to who, man? Like, relax. So I feel like a humility and being a humble founder and actually listening, and then when you know something, putting it out there is a little bit of what the industry needs. I just saw a podcast that was great that you have Eve Frenol from Fieldwire, you had Zach from Rumbix, you had Dustin from Building Connected. And shit, who else was there? And I think Mo from Holo Builder. So all these founders that have done something great in the industry, right? They push the industry forward. They build something good. Everyone knows who they are. Everyone knows their products. Those are the people that we should be listening more, right? They always have good things to put out there, good learnings. We shouldn't be like putting a mic to anyone that is coming to the industry and they have all these, super black or white views of things like this is the way this should be done. It's like, who are you to say this, man? Like, you might be building a great product, but you just started. Like, you can't come to the industry and state all these facts, right? And I feel like podcasts and investors should make sure to be a good filter on what the messaging goes out there. And I'm telling you this with all the love in the world, Mayur, but podcasts need to be very careful who they give a mic to, right? Let's say, and I'm not gonna name names, there's great podcasts out there, right? But if you have an investor and they haven't done much in the industry and they come and they just talk about what is moving the industry, like, relax, man. Like, you have your view, present your view in a humble way, but you can't just state facts like you're the Mr. Construction. So I believe that the podcast investors, whatever is public, the build worlds need to stop with the pay for play. Or if they have that to build a business, I get it, but they need to make sure that they promote the real stuff, the true stuff, the people that actually have something valuable and key to put out there, and not just the ones that are paying the most. Because what happens is you have a startup, they raise a ton of money, and then they have money to pay for the best sponsorship on an event or a podcast, and then they can just say whatever they want. The number one problem in construction is whatever, RFIs. We're building the RFI evolution. It's like, according to who, man? Like, who says RFIs are the number one problem in construction? Like, some people say is scheduling. Some people say is the design. Some people say it's pre-con. Some people say it's estimating. All of these are problems. And maybe we've made the mistake in the past of also stating like, dude, number one problem is like the field coordination aspect. Because as founders, you wanna grab any metrics from the industry and cater to your message so it can be more powerful. But the reality is everything is a problem. Everything needs evolution. And all of our products from the different startups, they all add value and they all in a combined way, they're pushing the industry further. So yeah, man, we gotta be careful who we give the mic to, and especially if they come with like black or white like statements, like preaching. Like, relax, man. Let's put the conversation. Let's bring people from other spaces, and let's talk about like the true problems from the industry. Let's bring people from the industry. So yeah, sorry, I got a little bit longer there, but I think these are important messages. And every time I talk to seasoned founders, they think the same. They think the same. I'm not saying I'm a seasoned founder, by the way. I'm talking when I talk to other founders that have done something great, they typically think the same. So yeah, let's put the mic on people that have done something and people that know what they're talking about, instead of people that want to push their message and their product, because it's a conflictive messaging, right?
Yeah. You just
So yeah,
made me like wait so much, like how much noise is out there, and like we all have a responsibility
man,
to
crazy.
contribute. Like if we have to contribute, like let's get the right voices and the right message with the right
Yep.
data.
the Mayur, the best content is the real content, right? How many podcasts have you heard that they say absolutely nothing? And you spend 40 minutes just listening to high level, over the top statements that are marketing statements, and you ended up getting fucking nothing. The best podcasts are the ones that are like, dude, raw conversations, direct feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just putting it out there, because we're all going through the same shit. As founders, we all struggle, we all have victories, we all get stuck. There's no journey that is like perfect. And if you're trying to promote that, then you're just pushing a fake message just to get investors to get excited for your product. And that's not legit, man. That's not legit. So yeah, I feel like as founders, as podcasts, as events, as investors, we all need to make sure that the true content is out there, and the one that is real and is helping founders and helping startups move the industry to a new level. Not raise more money, but move the industry to a new level. And there's a lot of work to be done, man. Like, we've grown a lot, we have a great product, but there's so much we need to improve. Like, there's a lot of parts in our product that I see today that I'm like, holy shit, we need to fix this. We need to improve this. And that's also something that the industry needs to understand. It's very hard to build a product that is great, that is perfect, that is scaling, and that never have issues. It's just not reality. Reality is you're always going to have little bumps. The important thing is you're quick enough to fix problems. You're quick enough to launch new things that are valuable, and precisely that, things that are valuable, not things that are flashy. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that answer with that last message.
We will wrap up with a rapid fire.
Mhm.
You have less than 5 seconds to answer. Okay.
Okay.
Who's your role model?
Oh man, you killed me with that. Honestly, I really admire less than 5 seconds. Sorry, but you you caught me off guard. I mean, one of the founders that I truly admire in the industry is Yves Renault. Like he's I gotta say he's one of our board members. He's very close, but is one that I admire. The way he looks at things, builds things, the success he had. Great founder. And then another role model in our space. I mean, I don't know if role model, but someone that I really admire what he did. Josh at Document Crunch, he did something great, like absolute great journey. You gotta like admit that, and it's someone that did a great job. So props to Josh. Those are people that build great companies with great culture, great outcomes. You gotta admire them, right? I don't know if they're my role model, like I have them on a poster in my office, but I definitely listen to what they have to say and their advice, like very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to keep it a bit more shorter. It's a rapid fire.
Let me add someone else
Okay.
that people need to know. Sorry. Ron, founder of
Oh,
eBuilder. Ron Antevy, great founder, man. He needs to be more known in this space. That is one founder that is not very known because he did great success. He sold his company for $500 million to Trimble, man. Absolutely amazing founder. And he got a great team and people speak very highly of him. That's a great founder that needs to have more notoriety in the space, and the industry just hasn't given him enough microphone time. He's an amazing founder, super knowledgeable, super experienced, and I encourage you to have him in your next podcast.
3 words your
Yeah,
best friend would describe you as.
relentless, passionate, and honest, direct, transparent. I don't know, either one of those.
Any
Yeah.
book which made a big impact in your life?
Man, I gotta be honest. I'm not a big reader. I'm not one of those founders that's like, yeah, man, you gotta read that book. I get distracted very easily. I can't finish books, to be honest. I read a lot, but I read a lot of like material online, articles, like consume a lot of material, but in shorter formats. Books, yeah, I don't know. I feel like okay. So these are books that I actually read. I haven't read much, but this was great. Starting my company, predictable revenue. This was great because it really like opened up a lot of a lot of ideas and inspirations that I didn't even know. So reading this book was very good. And then if it's not related to startups, I read this one not long ago that I thought it was great. Never enough. My case, super impressive guy. Mike, ex Navy SEAL commander, board member at VMware, super successful like startup guy, and now he's a partner at Insight Partners. So incredibly successful guy. He was in the White House. These are the people that you're like, man, I'm gonna listen to this guy, right? He's done something. And then I have this one right here that I haven't read yet, but shout out to my friend Rick Skubiak, ex-founder of Honest Buildings, amazing founder. He just launched Earn, and I'm gonna give that one a read because it's not that bad, right? I can definitely do that one. So yeah, that's my book opinions.
It's 2030, your hot take of construction tech.
My hard take on construction tech 2030. Shit, 4 years from now. I mean, I'm not going to throw predictions because I'm not that type of person, but I do believe that everything that is happening with the new products, the intelligence products and the AI agents and models and everything is going to grow very fast in the next 2 to 3 years. Very fast. Pure SaaS players need to really step up if they haven't. We're one of them. Like, we definitely need to step it up and create more stuff, not just flashy stuff, but valuable stuff. The industry is going to be really struggling with new talent, so software is going to have to do a lot, right? This is not a hot take. This is what I think is going to happen. Software needs to be more proactive than reactive, like just doing stuff for the team. Superintendents and foremen and field people are going to be much more valuable than some office positions that have been helpful so far, but they're not going to be as strong moving forward. So office teams are going to compress, field teams are going to compress as well, but they're going to be absolutely like necessary, and they are today and they've always been. But I feel like the industry needs to really give more value to people in the field. They're the ones building the projects, man. They're the ones building the projects. They need to be better compensated. They need to be more respected. They need to be a part always of the decision of using certain types of products, software or whatnot, unless it's something that is, I don't know, for the pre-con team. But still, the field people are the ones making shit happen, man. Like you can do amazing stuff in the office, but it doesn't drip down to the field, or they don't agree, or nothing's gonna happen. So definitely the field team is going to be super valuable talent. And I hope that there's more content and school or whatever. I'm not a big promoter of universities, if I'm being honest, but there's got to be more teachings and stuff out there to bring younger generations into the field, because now the field is much more safer than in the past. There's more technologies, more attractive. The projects are absolutely massive, a lot of them. And when you understand that everything is construction and it's never going to end, it's only going to evolve, then I feel like any young player would be like, man, this is an exciting industry. Like, yes, tech is cool, but like construction, man, like moves the world. Moves the world. I'm sitting on construction. I'm gonna get in my car and drive on construction. I'm gonna go to another construction, project. It's just the way of the world. So we need to really get new generations excited about construction. This is not a hot take. A lot of people have said this, but I feel like it's something that needs to be enforced, right? I feel like there's going to be much more robotic stuff because it's evolving and it's being more used. But robotics like assistance, not robotics that is going to do things for people. Robotics that is going to assist people. It's going to be a lot of that. And then hot take, hot take, hot take. Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. More than hot take, let's just leave it with rational takes. And I think those are all rational takes. In 4 years are gonna move very, very fast. I mean, dude, the past 2 years, everything has moved so freaking fast. So freaking fast. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of challenges coming from all this growth, right? Security challenges, data challenges, crime challenges. So now we're starting to see like the tip of the iceberg of all those things. But moving forward, those are going to be real challenges, man. Real challenges. So that's going to be something that we need to focus. Like I feel like we're focusing a lot on the new stuff, the evolution, and everything's great, and we're forgetting about, men, we're also building a huge like new wave of crime and scam and fucking people that are going to do a lot of harm with AI, a lot of harm. So we also got to pay attention to that. And us as software builders, that needs to be definitely on top of our list. Maybe not number one, but it needs to be there. So yeah, big shout out to the founders to pay attention to this, because the minute data gets stolen, data gets messed up, people start scamming our customers, it's going to be painful, man. It's going to be very, very painful. So we really need to pay attention to that. And as a company, we have a long ways to go, but we're thinking about these things. Like, man, we need to really pay attention to like safety or security, whatever the concept is. Very important thing. There's going to be the crime is going to move from physical crime to cyber crime a lot more in the next few years. Yeah. I don't know if it's a hot take, but it's an important take. So yeah, that's my, not predictions, but comments
I-
around 2030. It's around the block, man. 2030 is going to be like right here. If you would have said 2050, maybe I can get a little bit more crazy. 2030 is right there.
Thank you, Franco, for being on the show. Had
Thank you,
a
man.
roller coaster of insights and brutally honest points.
Thank you, Mayor. Absolute pleasure. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a good stuff. You approach people with a great personality, super humble, just putting knowledge out there. You're doing a great thing, man. Keep doing it. Don't sell out. And if you need to build a business, do it. That's fine. We all understand it. But there's many ways of doing it without selling out the proper content. Okay. That's something that I wanna encourage you to
Means
not
a
do.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.